everybody, it's Lon.TV, and I love these little pocket routers that get sent my way every once in a while. This is another one I got from PowerAdd. It's a pretty neat little device. What's cool about this router is that it incorporates all of the power adapters you might need right into the design. So you've got this big guy up here. If that's not what you're looking for, you just pull it off like so. If that doesn't fit in your electrical outlet, you just turn the little dial here and that's good to go. And then there's another adapter here at the bottom that you can pop out and then plug into the prongs here if you need this kind of plug. So it's got all the universal power adapters you might need in one handy little package. They do get a little tight to work with occasionally, but pretty flexible little device from a power standpoint. Like all other routers, it has a Wi-Fi access point as well as a client built in, and I'll show you how all these things work and the different modes you can operate it with in a second. You also have Ethernet here, of course, for connecting it to a network or connecting a network to it. And you have a USB charging port at the bottom that will deliver 1 amp of power, so good to charge a phone, but maybe not necessarily a tablet. So that's the hardware overview of this device. It functions like a lot of other pocket routers do, but what I'm going to do now, though, is plug it in and show you how to configure it so you can use it the way you want to use it, because there's a lot of different ways you can make this thing work. So let's plug it in and take a look. All right, let's take a look at the web-based configuration screen here, and this is a little confusing, so I want to spend some time on this just so you can understand what is what on here. So right now I've got this set up in what they call bridge mode, but the pocket router is actually just acting as an access point. Now, typically when I look at something called bridge, I'm thinking of having two wireless access points talking to each other, connecting things that are plugged into them together, not acting as a basic access point, which is what this is currently acting as. If you want it to work as a traditional bridge, you would go in and click enable, and that would give you the ability to have that actual bridging function. But with this disabled and bridge enabled here, it is going to be an access point in that you plug it into your network with Ethernet, and then it will just allow anyone connecting wirelessly to gain access to your network like any other wireless access point will. The router that I have in the basement is handling all the routing tasks. It's assigning the IP addresses in the house. So basically it is a dumb access point right now in bridge mode with the AP client option disabled. Now there's also gateway mode, and this is actually what you would normally consider a router to be. You do need to make sure that you enable the NAT option here, and that will allow you to connect to a internet connection with Ethernet and then have your clients connect wirelessly to the pocket router, and that creates kind of a firewall. So if you're in a hotel that just has Ethernet available, you plug the Ethernet into the back of the pocket router and then connect to the router wirelessly, and there's a little bit of a firewall set up, so you're not going to see everyone else on the network at the hotel. So if you've ever been at a hotel and you turn on your computer and all of a sudden you see all these different computers showing up on your network places, that's because you're all essentially on the same network, and gateway mode will act as a traditional router and block you from being seen on that list, so it might give you a little bit more protection. Now there's another mode here called Ethernet converter, and what this does is the opposite of what the gateway does. So if you're at a hotel that just has wireless internet, you can connect to that internet wirelessly with the pocket router and then connect your computer via Ethernet to the Ethernet port, and it will also gain that same firewall protection. So kind of a nice thing, because a lot of hotels now are offering wireless versus wired internet, and that will give you some protection also in that way. Although I would have considered Ethernet converter to be actually what the last option is, which is AP client. This is great if you have something like an old Xbox 360 that doesn't have a wireless connection on it. You can plug the Ethernet cable from the device into the pocket router, and the pocket router will act as a client to a wireless access point, so basically allowing you to use your Ethernet device as a wireless device just with this little pocket router here, and you're good to go. So pretty handy to have that if you ever have an issue with devices that are Ethernet only and don't have any wireless support. So those are the modes that get configured on it. A little tricky to get everything set up, but once you understand what their terminology is for the things you're trying to do, it's not too hard to get everything up and running. Now what we're going to do is a quick benchmark using my iPad. We'll see how fast it can go. All right, I've got my iPad here connected wirelessly to the pocket router. The pocket router is connected to my Ethernet network, to my gigabit network. It is on a network switch that my laptop here is also on. And what we're going to do is use a test called iPerf, which is going to push about 500 megabytes over the wireless network to the computer that is behind me right here. So I'm going to click on go here, and we'll see how fast the data transfers. So not the fastest thing in the world. This is a wireless N router on the Pocket router. So we're getting anywhere from 7 to 40 megabits per second or thereabouts. So not terribly slow, but certainly not going to be as fast as a wireless AC router. But quite frankly, if you're in a hotel using this as like a buffer between you and the rest of the world, that hotel internet isn't going to be all that fast to begin with. So that is the little PowerAdd Pocket router. Pretty handy little device when you want to set up a network in a pinch. Also very nice that they give you all these different power adapters too. It's just a nice way to kind of secure yourself a little bit better if you're at a hotel, or if you want to create like an ad hoc network very quickly, you can certainly do that with this also. I just wish the configuration screens made a little bit more sense. So that bridge mode is a great example of one of the things they could have maybe separated out into two different options, one being access point mode, the other one being bridge mode. But once you figure out exactly what they mean in their configuration screen, you can get everything working quite well. Not the fastest thing in the world, but I don't expect that out of something at this size and price point. This is Lon.TV, and thanks for watching.